Ladies and gentlemen, what the heck is going on? And I say that quite literally, what the heck is going on? Possibly the craziest start to an NFL offseason in NFL history, at least that I can remember. Dee Ford traded to the 49ers. Jags fans upset about the Nick Foles signing. The Jets picking up possibly the two biggest free agents in Le'Veon Bell and C.J. Mosley. Anthony Barr saying, yeah, I want out. And last but not least, Odell Beckham Jr., which could go down as one of the biggest blockbuster trades in NFL history. Also, a little conspiracy theory for you. I had acquired 4 NFL Funko Pops over the last season. The only 4 I own: Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Odell Beckham, Dez Bryant. An entire box of Tom Brady's has been ordered. Anyways, let's waste no more time. Let's jump in to what could be the biggest news in the NFL so far. After losing Antonio Brown, the Steelers make it up to their fans by signing Steven Nelson. Who is this guy, actually? I actually didn't know who he was, which is surprising. That doesn't happen often. Therefore, I ended up watching a little bit of game tape from him. It seems like he plays in the slot a lot. Not the best at coverage. Not the quickest guy, but this man can tackle, which I do like a lot. Expect him to be covering players by the likes of Jarvis Landry this season. Speaking of Jarvis Landry, let's go ahead and move in to what is probably the second biggest splash in the offseason so far, with his best friend Odell Beckham Jr., who got traded from the New York Giants for a first and third round pick, along with former first round pick Jabril Peppers. And here is a live look in from Giants fans around the world. Whoa, put that down. Is it really that bad? Maybe not, to be completely honest. Now, I'm not going to say they got the better end of the deal because, well, it's clear that they didn't. But at least they're not the Pittsburgh Steelers. You didn't get a third and fifth round pick for him. This is how I kind of look at it, okay? You start off by trading who is probably your best pass rusher to the Cleveland Browns, knowing that he's going to be $8 million against the salary cap in dead money. And then you let Landon Collins go, who in my opinion was your best player on defense. You really didn't have a chance to win the Super Bowl to begin with. And now after trading Odell Beckham, you still don't have a chance. It might be a little bit more tough. This is what I don't get though, and this is what would make me triggered if I was a Giants fan. Why sign Odell Beckham to this huge 5-year contract if you really don't like the guy? Because those are the vibes that I was getting between the two sides. Now, Odell Beckham's gonna cost $16 million in dead money against your salary cap. And for a team that's not good to begin with, you'd be lucky to win 2 or 3 games next year. Now, I do have a hypothetical that's probably a long shot, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Now, having 2 first-round picks and the extra third, knowing Eli Manning is probably gonna be done after this year, which God bless him for even deciding to come back after all this craziness that's gone on. Maybe, and just maybe, the Giants could decide to try to trade up for that number 1 overall pick to take Kyler Murray. I believe right now their 2 first-round picks are number 6, number 17, and then the 3rd round pick that they have was number 95. Would all 3 of those be good enough to move up to that 1st overall pick and trade with the Arizona Cardinals? I don't know, it might not be, but it's definitely interesting to think about. I will be honest, I personally think the Cardinals are going to end up drafting Kyler Murray and dumping off Josh Rosen for a 2nd or 3rd round pick. But then again, crazier things have happened, you never know. One last thing as far as Odell Beckham goes. Since he's going to a new team, I know he just got a new contract, but he's seen what happened to Antonio Brown. He's gonna want to get paid, so I'm interested to see how that goes. And let me tell you something, don't sleep on what Antonio Brown did, because what we've seen, ladies and gentlemen, was legendary. I wouldn't be surprised if what Antonio Brown pulled off is remembered in the NFL 30 or 40 years from now. It seems like finally in 2019 the players are getting a little bit more control, and I know the owners aren't liking that. Remember this, in 2020 the NFL's collective bargaining agreement between the players and the owners end, and they're going to have to renegotiate stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an NFL holdout and we missed out on some football. With that, let's go ahead and move on to the next player, probably the biggest free agent, Le'Veon Bell. And for Steelers fans, I think this meme sums it up. First, I'll turn down $70 million from the Steelers. Next, I'll sit out the entire season waiting for more money. Then I'll sign with the New York Jets for only $50 million. Then I'll sign with the Jets for only $50 million. Yep, he signed with the New York Jets after all of this. I feel like his plan definitely backfired. Now, he is getting a lot of money in guarantees. I think it's over $30 million, which is good for him, and I think that's really what he wanted. As a Steeler fan, yes, it sucks, but I will say we all seen it coming, and it was definitely nowhere near as bad as the whole entire Antonio Brown fiasco. Nonetheless, though, the Jets are making moves, and if you're a fan of them, you have to be stoked for all the moves that they're making. C.J. Mosley, are you kidding me? Definitely the best linebacker in this free agency class, and then Le'Veon Bell, probably the biggest name overall after dissing the Steelers. Speaking of diss, Le'Veon Bell decided to drop his mixtape minutes before deciding to go public with the team that he chose. He should have just made a diss track on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's how you get known in the rap industry now, Le'Veon. Just to let you know for future. Now, I found this pretty funny personally. Anthony Barr ends up giving the Jets the old yeeter. Yep. He unofficially agreed to a contract with the New York Jets, which got fans really excited. And then he pulled out the old yeeter, and he decided to go back to Minnesota. Rest in peace, any Jets fans that decided to buy a green Anthony Barr jersey. Some other news in the NFL really fast. Jaguar fans seem to be pretty upset about the Nick Foles signing. 4 years, $88 million or whatever it was. A quick reality check for you. If you have him 2 years ago, you are the ones that win the Super Bowl. Just saying. Yeah, but I don't know. How could you possibly be mad about signing a Super Bowl MVP? Don't forget, before last season, the Eagles almost didn't make the playoffs before Nick Foles stepped in. Is he the greatest quarterback ever? In my opinion, no. But he's definitely light years better than Blake Bortles. I wouldn't be too upset about that. There was also the D Ford trade, who got traded from the Chiefs to the San Francisco 49ers for a second-round pick. Directly after that, the 49ers got him on a brand new deal because he was franchise tagged by the Chiefs. As far as the Chiefs go, I just don't get it. You're this close to winning the Super Bowl last year. You have a pretty good front seven. Terrible secondary, though. Now, you did get the players necessary to help your secondary out a little bit, but it seems like you're flip-flopping because now you lose Justin Houston, you lose D Ford, but you upgrade your secondary. You see what I'm saying here? Kind of just doesn't make much sense to me. At this point with Patrick Mahomes, you got to be all in, right? What are you getting rid of players for? Okay, hold on. Big timeout. Big timeout. AFC North making even more moves. I was just about to end the video, but I can't leave it all right there. Apparently, Earl Thomas is intending to sign a 4-year, $55 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens, who just lost Eric Weddle. This definitely makes a lot of sense. Their defense, one of the best from last year. They lost a lot of pieces with Zadarius Smith. Like I said, Eric Weddle, C.J. Mosley's gone. That pickup for them, definitely huge. And it's definitely going to get Ravens fans excited because they didn't really seem to pursue Le'Veon Bell at all. Huge pickup here. We have the Browns making a ton of moves, as we all know. I believe they signed Sheldon Richardson, traded for Olivier Vernon, Odell Beckham Jr., obviously. That defensive front's going to be crazy with Myles Garrett. And then, obviously, all of the stories with the Baltimore Ravens, losing Terrell Suggs, losing Weddle, losing Smith, losing C.J. Mosley, and then they hit a huge home run by getting one of the top safeties in all of free agency with Earl Thomas. The Steelers getting rid of two players, arguably the best at their position in Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. And then you have the Cincinnati Bengals, who are just at the bottom of the bucket. And now they're feeling even worse because they can't say, well, at least we're not the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, you guys, you can't do that anymore. Oh, get the heck out of here. And now we're getting news that the Ravens, and I did hear about this, might be signing Mark Ingram as we speak. They had about 4 different running backs that they were using last year. I don't know if they know what they're doing with that. Mark Ingram will probably fit in pretty well. Signing him definitely seems like it's going to be a running back by committee deal for the Ravens, which it seems like they're pretty used to over the past couple years. Okay, man, this has just been ridiculous. I'm just going to list off a couple names real fast of the top free agents that are left. We got Justin Houston, Ndamukong Suh, Ezekiel Ansah, Ronald Darby. The best wide receivers, probably Golden Tate, Tyrell Williams. And then there's also Bryce Callahan and Clinton Dix, probably the best defensive backs. Let me know, who do you want your team to get? Are you excited about any moves that your team made? What do you think is going to happen in the later days of free agency? And who knows, there's probably going to end up being 3 more blockbuster trades the way that things are going right now. As you can tell, huge moves in the NFL so far. I don't remember a season, probably ever, where this many big moves have went down, especially this early. There is so much more I'd love to talk about, but I don't want this to drag on for too long. We're going to put a halt to it for right now. More NFL news will be coming if there are some big moves made, which I'm sure that there will be. If you want to see my opinion on Antonio Brown, we made a separate video on that. There's going to be a link down in the description below. Highly recommend it. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. And until next time, you already know, you're the best. God bless. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Alright, so trash this. Trash the brown jersey. Trash the Bell jersey. I don't have any jerseys left.